Here we are diving in on a Saturday night, coming from the outdoor summertime studio. We already got an airplane flying overhead, so we're fully back in our outdoor conditions when we have planes flying around overhead. Welcome people, welcome. Chai Star G, as always, is starting us off with a let's go, and always good to have Michaela. Good evening and happy Svengoolie night to all from Store Ghoulie. Michaela, did you update your picture there? Are you holding a little rubber chicken? Is that what we're looking at? That's pretty cool as always. So again, welcome people, welcome viewers. Here we are, and I just wanted to still break down a little bit of this exciting C2E2 coverage as the days continue to put C2E2 more in the rear view mirror, a little bit of the afterglow, if you will. Now we got somebody driving down the alley in a squeaky mobile. I hope the microphone just picked that up just a little bit and not too much. So a little context on the size and the scope of all the comings and goings of C2E2 and what it was all about. Okay, so here's from the upper deck shot, and I think we've shown in a previous year and in last year we had a similar kind of a shot, but just there's the convention floor, not the entirety of it, but just a good measure of it, a good size of it. So there's all the stuff, all the people checking out all the different booths and walking around and all that good fun to be had. Here's a little bit more of a same kind of a shot. Things to be seen from the floor include Galloping Ghost Arcade. So this is one of our long standing now. It felt like a new discovery back, but that's back some time ago. But Galloping Ghost Arcade continues to come out to C2E2 and bring some video games to entertain the people. I really wanted to focus on some of the top level, what I considered the top level cosplayers, the cosplaying that was most super impressive to me. Let's Hey, Nanette, welcome to the show. Good to have you around, Nanette. Yes, let's allow for the future possibility where we're all recognizing the 45th anniversary of Sven this coming summer, and maybe instead of being in different boxes, maybe we'll all be here in the summer studio, and that's a beautiful thing. But glad to have Nanette along for the ride this evening. Coming back to our photos as we okay, so before we get to the cosplay, as I was standing there the morning of the C2E2 opening, there's guys passing by with like Rubbermaid buckets, and in those buckets are foam swords and foam shields, and I'm standing there next to Dave Fuentes, Terror Dave, and let me say, if you haven't already, please do check out terrordaves.com for C2E2 coverage. I know there's another entry in the works, but Dave is a meticulous guy anyway. So Dave and me are wondering, what are these people doing carrying these Rubbermaid buckets? And well, there they are having like what looks like a real good time of a giant foam sword fight battle. So I don't know, outside of C2E2 where else this could transpire. Probably there are places, probably there are events, but I'm just saying all the different ways that people could enjoy themselves and participate in a good time at the convention. Okay, so that covers those characters. Now, for the cosplay, the concept, the execution, what were these guys thinking? How did they make it all happen? So it's a bit of a Mandalorian, Boba Fett-ish kind of a theme. Let me bring myself over to the side here. And somehow in the world of mashups, they decided, let's go Mountain Dew, let's go Dr. Pepper in a Mandalorian kind of a way. Now, even just breaking down this image, right? You got cans of actual Dr. Pepper. You probably had a box of a larger ration of Dr. Pepper get reinterpreted there into like the Mando jetpack. But now that's more in the background on the Dr. Pepper. Now, I don't know how he put together his weapon. It looks like a heavy duty blaster. It looks like you got an actual Dr. Pepper in the top of his backpack. But now coming to the foreground, the Mountain Dew guy, we got some kind of battery powered event here because we have the LED lights going, and I could not have been more impressed with these guys and their setup. Let's jump back to wow is right, Michaela. Wow is the most fitting way to talk about what these people had going on here. So couple more shots, and again, look. I mean, look at this. You got the time, the energy that they went into, that they put into this, and again, how did that conversation go? You're sitting around and you enjoy Mountain Dew, you enjoy Dr. Pepper, you're fans of Mandalorian, and you're like, look, C2E2's coming. How are we going to set up our cosplay? Let's go Mando and Dr. Pepper and here I took a close up more of the LED lights in there. It was just visually captivating. Look at that, the gloves. What's it say? It looks like a dinosaur themed glove in there. I mean, they spared no expense in time and money. You talk about labor of love. These people look like they really went all in on their stuff. There's a little bit more close up on the helmets. Totally impressive, totally amazing. If you guys happen to be watching, feel free to put in the comments. I'd love to have you guys on as guests. But now other top flight stuff. If that was the only thing, I'd be like, wow, hey, that was worth the price of admission to the convention. However, but wait, there's more, and I see a comment coming, so let me knock this down. Now, we still got costumery, we still got helmets here, but talk about intricacy and eye for detail and putting everything together here. But now let's do not the heel turn, but let's do the spin. Mr. Freeze. Now, I don't know, you got vacuum stuff in there. Have you been to the hardware store for this? Are you going to the craft store? Are you on the 3D printer? Is this a scuba gear? You got a light up in your chest cavity. You got the sunglasses. You did face paint on top of it. This is a well layered, completely detailed. You look at the belt, even you got pouches in the belt. This was a great expression of Mr. Freeze, even down to the sunglasses. Get some red tint glasses. I don't know if the helmet was like a cake topper or something, but whatever it was, it all came together in the best of ways. This was a real good other cosplay costume here. Let me come back. Comments as now for Nanette, an artist in her own right, to acknowledge the impressiveness of what we're looking at. I can only agree. I can only concur. All right, so let's dial up a little bit more here. I guess I'm on a bit of a theme now of DC stuff, because this Black Manta. Now you got a Captain America shield in the background for a little bit of a counterbalance. But again, how do you fashion and construct a helmet to be realistically in the shape of a Black Manta? And again, I don't think this is so much craft store. I think you're at the hardware store. It's not just a standard PVC, but it's bendy. I don't know if you're deconstructing shop facts or what, but you're getting them size and scale to the helmet. I mean, it was really cool to see all of this stuff. Really cool, all of it. Now this one here's the thing, and then here's the close-up. So if people in comments want to take a shot at what are we looking at and what are the Easter eggs, pardon, the cough still lingers, the Easter eggs, if you will. Let's go a little bit closer, just a touch closer. There, I can still say crap. Okay, so in Chicago, when the Cubs win a game, they fly a flag, and on that flag, as the plane goes by, maybe the plane's headed over for Wrigley Field. I don't know. Maybe the plane's coming and going. Okay, so the W. Imagine a time before cell phones, before internet as it is now, and it's the end of your day, and you haven't heard the radio, or you get on the train, and it's close to the end of the game, and you're trying to see, did the Cubs win? Did the Cubs not win? Back in the day, you'd be on the train, and people would be craning their necks around trying to see if the W flag was flying. So I don't know if this cosplayer took direct inspiration from the old times when flying the W flag was it, or very common now at your places like Clark Street Sports or other sporting goods spots to sell a W flag. But there's something else besides a Cub win that starts with a W, and that would be a certain Canadian X-Man mutant, my friends, and that is Wolverine. So now if we cast gaze closer to the top of the mask here, we got the Cubs colors. We got a Wolverine-ish, a Wolverine, similar to Wolverine compatible mask, but it's all in the Cubs colors. And now let's look at the title belts here. So the different elements we have here. Okay, we got Cubs, we got the W flag, we got Wolverine, we got 3 claws. So that has to be Wolverine. but now we got title belts. And so the W to WWE, WWF, we got a title belt, and then we got a Cubs title belt. We got two belts. So this person, they got a great sense of humor. I have all the respect in the world for what they put together here. Let's come to comments. Michaela, I'm glad you're able to select a favorite. And again, it's for Michaela and the Michaelas of the world who were not able to make it into a C2E2 this time around, that we try to just share little highlights and little snippets and hope that it's something that people can appreciate. And it says, exactly. It was already a lot going on when you got a Dr. Pepper backpack and a Mandalorian hat, but this is really, this guy doesn't have a glowing LED light on him, but still a lot of good props. Chai Star, well, you're not even really late, pal. We opened up with your Let's Go, but take a look. I can't remember if you saw this guy on your own on the convention floor or what have you, but it was a good time. All right, now let me come out of comments and come back to now this wasn't exactly a Mr. Freeze, and I'm not sure what this was exactly, but it just looked really, really cool to me. So I captured it there. And again, I can't show every, because there's no way to cover the entirety of the convention, right? You could probably watch a lot of different channels and see a lot of different perspectives and different elements of coverage of capturing the convention. But this was just some particularly cool stuff. Now, take a totally different spin on the cosplay. We know some people will do the giant inflatable suits for things, but now this Pikachu was lumbering about in the most, not even the scary way, but it was just full respect to putting this thing on and trying to move around on a crowded convention floor and have people want to take your picture. This is a phenomenal expression of Pikachu fan relation here. Back to comments and back to pictures. Missed a lot of the costumes, focused on the artists. Well, see, that's the whole thing, man. It's too, Chai Star G's own phrase, it's too much entertainment. It remains too much entertainment. There's always too much going on in the best of ways, and that's all we can do is try to catch what we can. Okay, a little bit more on the convention. Oh, that's kind of similar to what I just showed. A little bit more on the convention, and then let's speak a little bit on Sven and Frankenstein. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Squirtles, a Squirtle squad, if you will. Back to Pikachu again. Again, he was lumbering all over the place. And that covers just, again, a recap of before. There was one of my highlights to cross paths with Chris Jones, artist of the DC comic featuring Sven, and more recently, artist of the Frank Miller comic featuring Sven. I also note his kapow on his shirt. So awesome to see Chris Jones. And hey, here's something Chai Star didn't miss. There's Chai Star and me clowning around on the convention floor. It was all good. It was all great. Now let's, if that was the part one of our conversation tonight, let's, oh man, am I messing up? I am messing up a little bit, but we'll be back. So right here, usually we like to hit at the start of the month and break down the movies that are coming up on Svengoolie. So I'm a little bit behind the pace on that. But here we go in the month of May. Oh, there, look at that. Look at that. Bride of Frankenstein. Every month this calendar is a treat. Every month we get a great depiction of something here. Again, we got layered images of some gears and stuff. We got a Frankenstein over here, a Frankenstein in the corner there. Let's come up here. There she is in the bandages. It's, again, from concept to execution, from design to color work, everything about this calendar, month of May, what's going on in the Svengoolie verse and the horror verse. Comments again, and then we'll continue on here. And it says, yeah, I was glad that Chris Jones was good to go with the photo. And shortly after that picture was taken, there was Sven talking to Chris Jones, so we can expect sometime soon on the Svengoolie program some more Chris Jones appearance. And again, you can get all this information from terrordaves.com. And Michaela then comes in to say some of the cosplay. Oh, hey, Michaela, that's great. If anything, it's an exchange of ideas and fun. So that I hope that does inspire your future artwork, and that's a great thing that gets me in the sentimentals right there. Okay, so here we go. As I was saying, so here we go tonight, May 11, House of Frankenstein. Coming up next week, I didn't even realize, I have to confess, when we don't know things, I didn't know Blackula had a sequel, but Blackula Scream is coming up, and then closing out the month big, Destroy All Monsters. You want to talk about overcrowded in the best of ways? It's like a battle royale. It's like a Royal Rumble. It's like crowd, crowd that studio with as many Godzilla monsters as you can, and let it rip. Destroy All Monsters is coming up on May 25. So those are some good things coming, and that's the same. The Land That Time Forgot is what we had from last week. So okay, let me. I'll do a little bit of flip screens in a minute to check on Chris Hamby for Silver Screen Reflections. Chris is ever increasing, ever approaching, soon to hit 99,000, and then I know the day will come where Chris Hamby will have hit 100,000 views and viewers on his Silver Screen Reflections. Ongoing, continuing congratulations to Chris Hamby. Also in the Reddit, Reddit Svengoolie community, you get to see Michaela's artwork if you're joining the subreddit for Svengoolie. You get to see Nanette's artwork. You get to see Warner Todd Houston dropping comedy bits. You get to see Hollow09 putting all the package together in the best of ways. So here we go. I wanted to take a look at this. Also, another piece of convention work, as photographed by Dave Fuentes. There again, the color reversal, the red jacket, the black jacket, Sven and Kevin Smith. I would hope that maybe somewhere on the horizon we're able to see some collaboration between those titans of the industry. Well, I guess I'm going to come to Hamby first here, but let me get in the right spot for share screen, and share screen, click it again, and let's hit the silver screen, and right there to share it. Okay, so here Chris Hamby is walking us through again, right here, 98,455 viewers, soon to be 99,000, and then on to 100. House of Frankenstein is what's coming out tonight. You got Glenn Strange as the monster. You got Boris Karloff, not as the monster, but as the mad scientist character. You got your Lon Chaney Jr., and then you don't have Bella tonight, but you do have David Carradine. So we also got another plane coming around. So here are the natural posters and the historical Sven coverage, all through. We even got the Sven coffee mug in there. So again, I encourage people to check out Chris Hamby and see the specifics of what he has over there. And now let me come back here and do another. Comments are coming again. Congrats to Hamby. He does an amazing blog supporting Svengoolie. Oh, Amelia Rhodes. Too bad it isn't on Twitch or Rumble or YouTube. I agree, but we got to recognize that the Me TV people want to keep their content in their own way. But it's true, it would be great if they would have some expanded coverage there, similar to what they do to put in some highlights and some clips from the morning show, the cartoon show. But thanks for your comment, Amelia. Okay. Or is it Amelia? Okay. Now, let me come back around to Reddit and get the share screen over Reddit. So last night, I'm out and about, and I occasionally will stop in at the before I hear just editorial correction. Autocorrect gets us plenty of times, but we all know it's Hamby, Hamby, and that's okay. And that would be great for you to recognize Chris in the first place. And okay, so I'm out and about, and I learned of the Brood. People who have been around have heard the story a little bit before. The Brood is a coffee house, and it is featured in the Sven documentary known as Uncrypted. So I'm over there, and I hadn't really gone close to closing time before, so I never really gave it a thought of what happens when you get to closing time around the Brood. So I wanted to just order a to-go drink, and so they have not just the classic horror, but they have the contemporary horror, and not just Universal. You got your Godzilla references, you got your King Kong references. So I'm looking at the menu, and I'm thinking I've been underutilizing the Brood all along because it says on the drink menu Skull Island. It says banana. It says, and then they put so it's a coffee drink with a little bit of banana flavor and milk. And I have to figure. I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I didn't really ask the people, but I'm pretty sure it has to be this Skull Island reference to King Kong. Hence, you put a little bit of banana flavoring in your iced coffee drink. This was it was top notch. It was a good time by flavor. It was a good time by visuals. It was great to be at the Brood. But now I say all this to say, I had not thought about before what happens towards closing time. And when you have one of the inflatable Svens and then it's closing time, what happens? What happens to inflatable Sven at closing time? Well, there he is. That's how he looks. And now we're looking at Reddit. Uh, man, it's maybe it's just my own sense of humor in that kind of a way, but I just thought, wow, that's pretty cool to see the deflated uh, moment in time for the inflatable Sven. There he is, taking a little, just leaning up against the couch just a little bit. It was closing time. It was the end of the day, and just again scanning around the Reddit, people are finding their hunting dolls. There's Warner Sven arising, Svenizing, Sven adapting the standard posters. Oh, there's Svengoolie herself dropping a little art right there. This number one Sven fan doing a little diorama bit with I think the NECA figures there. And let's get the scrolling. There's a little, there we go. Let's get, Nanette, this one, just here, that's everything about it. Between Svengoolie and Nanette, this is just such a fun capture of Sven, giving a big old smile. So good times ahead. All right, let me come back to regular here. And again, here we are. Commenters, if you got any other things to drop in the comments before we wrap up. This was by design not going to be a super long show, but it's the weather's come warmer, so I'm looking to utilize the outdoor studio a little bit more. We're every day and every week a little bit closer to the actual 45th anniversary of Thanks for the mention. Well, Nanette, thank you for watching. Thank you for being around. And thank you for continuing to be a prolific Svengoolie artist, as is Michaela, also a prolific Svengoolie artist. So, hey, again, lots of good Svengoolie businesses on the horizon. As I've said before, I wish the Museum of Broadcast Communication would be open again now to actually visit and see the actual Sven exhibit. But since it's not, maybe we're just going to need to revisit our photos from the trip there a few years ago, which were featured on the Fanboy Cantina channel. And of course, Chester, when is the next live stream? Well, most likely, my friend, we'll go same bad time, same bad channel, same bad time. So what you got another one? Yeah, and that was at your encouragement, and it might not have happened without your encouragement. And again, I look to try to put some other variations on some other, summertime Svengoolie, besides doing a Chris Jones rendition. So it's all about having the fun, and definitely the Sven community is and the C2E2 community are all about that. Probably other stuff I could ramble on and include, but I would say for the level of crafting that occurs from the cosplayers, I encourage people to check out the Casual Crafter channel. He's right now on a series of customizing Mego figures with a Star Trek playlist, if you will. So do check out Casual Crafter if you're looking for that. You should look anywhere over the interwebs and the Googles and the YouTubes for other in-depth coverage of C2E2. And as we will continue to say, do check out Chris Hamby every week for the current movie breakdown, breaking down both Sven's coverage and the actual film. And as always, for Sven event based coverage, do check out terrordaves.com. I am going to close this out for this time, but again, we're the warm weather's here. We're trying to have fun with this. We'll continue to have fun. I'm going to go most immediately go enjoy myself another viewing of House of Frankenstein, and we'll be back again with more Svengoolie fun and more build up for the 45th anniversary of Sven. Thanks, Michaela. Thanks, Nanette. Thanks, Chystar. Whoever else was jumping in and watching. Thanks for being here. I'm going to close us out and we'll be back. See you next time.